Ultimately, I'd like to be remembered for being a great singer-songwriter, because that's what I'm going to do when I finish doing this, right? So that'll be a great success, and that'll be remembered for that. A bit like Bob Dylan, but a bit more funky. My background, South London family, single-parent family, rented accommodation, tin bath which you bring in off the balcony and fill up with water, bath night from the stove, so you only have bath night once a week, and the smallest goes in first. The Three Yorkshiremen sketch. I feel like shouting luxury nearly all the time. I would say that quite a lot of kids these days have it tougher than I had it. Many more people are graduates. I think a lot of the entry-level jobs are now outsourced to the global economy and the rest of it, so it's harder for everyone. And in those circumstances, I think the responsibility for business is to actually actively get involved and help. What we have done in EY is we have committed ourselves to a purpose statement, so a purpose-driven organisation, building a better working world. The crisis, the financial crisis, raised, I think, legitimate questions around what is the role in business in society moving forward. A phrase that comes to our mind is a virtuous circle, so that at the same time, if we do things that have a positive social impact, that make a difference to our clients, to our people, to stakeholders, to society in general, that will also be good for business.
Could you tell us about the EY Foundation, why EY set it up and what its vision is, what its aims are?
Sure. To understand why we set it up, we have to give a little bit of background about what we've been doing for a while now. We had a thriving corporate social responsibility program, and we thought, how about if we set up a foundation? So we would continue to support that to the level we always have done, so no question of kind of reducing our involvement in it. We would still provide opportunity for our people to volunteer and help out with the programs they did, but we could get an influx of new people from the outside, experienced people in the third sector, experienced social entrepreneurs themselves, to get fresh ideas and fresh thinking involved. And also it would enable us to raise funds so that we could expand our programs and get and have a bigger impact. So what's the focus of the foundation? Well, the foundation will continue to do the things we did before, but new programs as well, focused on young people, helping young people into employment, helping young people into building their own businesses and things like that. People who directly work for me, by and large, I get fantastic feedback from. And they always find the experience challenging, but by and large, they quite like working for me. Mostly because I don't really care about inputs. Working mothers, for example, I have no interest where they are or how many hours they're working. I'm just interested in what they deliver at the end of the day, and that seems to go down very well. I think the people who most dislike working for me are my bosses. I don't have a deference bone. The good news about that is I don't expect deference from people working for me, but I'm totally incapable of showing any deference to my bosses. It seems to me if they're more senior than me, then they should be constantly justifying why, which doesn't go down all that well, to be fair.
These are a little experimental at the moment, but money or meaning?
Both.
Theory or practice?
Theory.
Hendrix or Clapton?
Ha, Hendrix.
Haute cuisine or hot dog?
Look at the size of me, both. I think organisations don't need very many of me, but they all need at least one. When I get very excited, because I think all ideas are public property rather than belong to individuals. And so therefore I can take someone else's idea and smash it about a bit without noticing they're getting a bit upset while I'm doing it. Because I think they're all shiny things, you should make them bigger, sort of thing.
So let's move on to mistakes or failures.
I've always adopted the same policy, which is first of all is to take responsibility for what's gone wrong, to say sorry, to learn lessons with the client, as it were, and then to move on. I have no patience at all with people who try to evade responsibility and try and hide in corners, because that's not how I want people to behave with me, and it's not the way I behave with other people. I have made business decisions where helpfully CEOs have said to me in previous organisations, "You're betting your career on that, don't you know?" But actually, oddly enough, I never found those decisions all that hard. The ones I find difficult are the ones that affect people and their jobs and their livelihoods. And each one of those I find, and I think rightly, I should find enormously difficult and affect me as it affects them. I think those are the business decisions that are really hard.
A younger Martin Cook, we invite you to pick an age and give some advice.
I think I would pick an 18 to 21-year-old Martin Cook and say, be kinder on yourself and be kinder on your friends. People aren't perfect. They never will be. You'll have much more fun if you relax a bit. What would I like to be remembered for? I'd like people to think I was kinder than I looked and funnier than I looked. I think that would do.
iPad or Moleskine?
iPad.
Michael Porter or John le Carré?
Ooh, John le Carré.
Folk or rock?
Rock.
Evolution or revolution?
Revolution.
Martin Cook, thank you very much indeed.
Okay.
Well done.